Hello, in this video I want to talk about how to verify the identity. One is tangent theta times cosine theta equals to sine theta. So the easy way to do it is we are trying to prove the left hand side equals to the right hand side. Then we're done. Usually we will start with the messiest one to make the messy one to look like the simple one, the simpler one. So on the left hand side, we got tangent theta equals to cosine theta. And tangent is equal to sine over cosine. Cross cancel, then you get sine theta. So the left hand side end up to equal to sine theta, which is equal to the right hand side. Then we're done. They are verified. Okay, another thing is to verify is 1 plus sine x, 1 minus sine negative x equals to cosine squared. Well, again, use the left hand side. Try to simplify the left hand side so that it will equal to the right hand side. So in here, you see this guy. If you see a negative, you need to think about the odd and even function. And the sine, the graph starting with the origin like this way. So you know that this is not going to be an odd function, even function. So this is going to be an odd function. 1 plus sine x times 1 minus sine x. Okay, this guy is what? The differences of square. A plus b times b, a minus b is equal to a squared minus b squared. So I end up to have a1 minus sine squared. And the 1 is equal to what? Pythagorean identity. It's cosine squared plus sine squared. That's equal to a 1. And then minus the sine square. These two cross cancel. You will just end up the left hand side, simplify it down to cosine square, which is equal to the right hand side, right? And then we're done. Another example, we have secant square minus 1 and then over secant square equals to sine square. Again, try to simplify the messier side, which is our left-hand side. Well, whenever you see a square, the first thing you think about is the 3 Pythagorean theorem, which is sine square plus cosine square equals to 1. And then the rest is 1 plus the cotangent square equals to the cosecant square, or 1 plus the tangent square equals to the secant square. If you don't remember, just write on the side to remind yourself. Okay, so secant square, we write it, I got 1 plus tangent square, then minus 1. Again, secant square on the bottom, I don't want to do anything now. I can do this later after it simplifies the top. So I have a 1 plus minus gives you a 0. Tangent, we write the tangent becomes sine and cosine. That's the second rule. Always write it into sine function or cosine function. So I have sine square over cosine square. Over secant is what? 1 over cosine square. Simplify it, you will get what? Cosine square got cancelled. You will end up to have a what? Sine square, which is the right hand side. This is equals to the right hand side. Then we're done. Okay, another example. 1 minus cosine x times 1 plus cotangent square equals 1. Again, When you see the square, the first thing you need to think about is these three Pythagorean theorem. It must be related to that. Okay, 1, we write it. I have a sine square plus cosine square minus cosine square. 1 plus cotangent is equals to cosecant square. That's the left-hand side. Let me write this. And then these two cross cancel. I have sine square. And cosecant, I can write it as 1 over sine. When they multiply together, it gives you 1, which is equal to our right-hand side. Isn't that nice? Okay, last example, and then we summarize all the tips that I have. Okay, this is an algebraic tips. The left-hand side. We're trying to simplify the left-hand side, get it close to the right-hand side. They all look similar to me. I think we did that earlier. We already proved that in the previous video in this section, very earlier in here, right? Yes. Now we do it again to prove it. One way to do it is conjugate. What do we do? Is by multiply is conjugate so that we can get a difference of square in the bottom. So in the bottom we have 1 square minus sine square. On the top we have cosine theta times 1 minus sine theta. And when you see a square or 1, you should think about, okay, this is going to be cosine theta square plus sine square, right? And at the top will be the same, cosine times 1 minus sine theta. Okay, these two got cancelled. I'm going to write it nicely. So I have a cosine theta times 1 minus sine theta over cosine square. Simplify it. So I have a 1 minus sine theta over cosine theta, which is the right-hand side. Then we're done. Okay, so here are the tips that I got. 1. You will always try to simplify the messier side. Right, you have a right-hand side and left-hand side. Always start with the messier side. And then the second thing you would do is try to convert the thing to sine or cosine. 3, when you see the negative x, the first thing you need to think about is the even and the odd function. 4, whenever you see the square, whatever square that you might see, you need to think about the 3 Pythagorean identity that you're going to apply. The 5th tip is factor. The 2 special factors, especially the difference of square and the perfect trinomial, which is a squared plus or minus 2ab plus b squared. So here are the tips to help you to simplify it. Everything that I do is based on this. But again, in order to do it faster, you need to practice more. That will help you. Okay, see you in the next video.